Hello everyone, Angel here, and we're resuming our Let's Play at TFTC Reimagined, and today we're doing Battle 8, Mission 3, where we once again defend ZA-13 from an attack, this time by the rebels.
Since we recaptured them from Zarin, the ZA-13 facilities have been undergoing reconstruction and upgrade. Previously, it had been responsible for hyperdrive engine production only, but since the loss of the Omar manufacturing facilities, its assembly lines are being expanded to allow for complete tire advance production. Our final convoy will be arriving shortly to deliver the last of the equipment for these new assembly lines. Unfortunately, the rebels are now trying to take advantage of the current chaos and confusion that Zarin is causing within the Empire, and our intelligence sources have warned us that a rebel strike force is currently en route, with the intention of destroying both the facilities and the convoy. You will be deployed in the TIE Defender designated Alpha 1, along with 2...
So I think, story-wise, it makes sense that the rebels would be, like, looking at this situation going, we should totally take advantage of this.
Vice Admiral Thrawn has also...
yeah, this does actually happen a lot in the subsequent campaigns where the rebels sort of get involved in this conflict. It's not, there's a little bit sort of battle...
until the frigates arrived.
Battle 13, I want to say, where you try and stop the rebels from learning about the Endor situation, and also getting a missile boat as well. But other than that, most of the subsequent story is either you've got the Nami, you've got the Reniki, and then sort of a back and forth between Zarin's forces. Then it sort of switches track for a battle where we just deal entirely with the rebel build-up at Endor, and then you go back to Zarin.
And the plants themselves.
But yeah, otherwise, the rebels don't really feature too much in this civil war.
Corvettes.
I guess you could argue that they don't want to have both forces looking at them, because Zarin doesn't like the rebels any more than the regular faction does anyway, so... But certainly for the production of advanced starfighters, the rebels would certainly not want this to be happening. So the force that we've established for Thrawn's fleet, the 2 frigates and the corvettes, are now being fully deployed to try and defend this station, or these 2 stations. I guess I've already kind of said in the previous videos that I do have a couple of issues with this, like how are they supposed to hold these stations with such limited resources? Why doesn't Thrawn have a bigger fleet? I think this is perhaps a flaw in this stage of the Reimagined campaign. As I said, when I was initially doing Reimagined, Battle 8 was the 3rd battle I did. It was Battle 1, Battle 2, and then Battle 8. I think, retrospectively speaking, I should have done it all in order. I should have just gone from Battle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 8. Because if I did, I think Battle 8 would end up a lot different than it currently is. I think there might have been a bit more story changes here, or something to help explain these changes. And now I can still go back and do this. I still might do this. Although I'm quite happy with how Battle 8 Mission 1 turns out. From here on out, up at least until the last mission, it's... I can't say I'm overly satisfied with how things play out story-wise, although the missions themselves are fine. So it might be that I will look at Battle 8 more closely in the future and think about some serious redesign along the way. Then again, I might just leave it as it is and let it stand. If you have comments about this, I would appreciate you leave us some comments about how you feel about that. Because I do read every comment posted, and I like to interact with the community. So as far as this mission goes, it's pretty much a similar one version of the the classic version, and except the rebels' attack here is just a lot stronger, a lot of fighters, and they're using the mag pulse again. This is where the mag pulse sort of briefly pops up again in the story, and then after that doesn't really factor into things. Again, I think this is a story element that could have been fleshed out a bit more, and I do want to use the mag pulse again in the future Reimagined, because if you remember in Battle 6, Zarin does capture the GEC facilities with the mag pulse, so in theory he has access to it. Whether he can manufacture it or not, I don't know, I haven't really decided that, but he would certainly have access to some stores of it. But otherwise, this is sort of a... I do remember feeling when I was designing this one that it was perhaps too similar to the previous, at least the second part of the previous mission, where we had the Zarin reinforcements come in. Because again, we've got 2 more corvettes, which will this time hold their position rather than charge out the enemy fleet from an enemy coming in pretty much the same direction as Zarin forces. And we're trying to have a convoy resupplied here as well. In this case, rather than a convoy we've just captured. One thing I did do, which you might notice in the opening stage of this mission, is that I made the convoy arrival look a bit more appealing, visually speaking, just seeing them all arrive at once. I think in the classic one there's far less ships, and they kind of stagger them out, and it takes a lot longer to do this mission, as I recall, because you have to wait for everything to dock. In this case, though, we're more just waiting for the 2 Nebulon B frigates to arrive. I guess thinking about it, I've sort of almost created another plot hole here, because up until this point the 2 frigates have been with the Stalwart the whole time. When we launched from this one, they're not with the Stalwart, so where did they go? So yeah, I think this just emphasises again, I wasn't... I made mistakes here, or at least didn't think about this as much as I should have. In any case, I certainly think it showcases that the mission design work here has kind of gone backwards compared to battles 5, 6 and 7, certainly, where we really took the gloves off in terms of how I did things or approached things. This feels a bit more, like I said, much more of a reversion to earlier missions, which would make sense, obviously, given how I did this one 3rd instead of 8th. I mean, certainly going forward for battles 9 to 13, I'm pretty much designing every single mission from scratch. I might use a few basic templates here and there from the classic missions, but other than that, I'm really, with my increased confidence and knowledge of mission editing, and as well as the D-draw changes, which allow me to have even grander missions or bigger scopes of things, it's really opened the door for me to flex my design muscles, as it were, and make things more interesting. Certainly 9 to 13 battles are going to be significantly different from their original counterparts, and there will be a lot more heavy story deviations from the original. Still have the same plot beats, the same overall story, but how we get to those beats will be different. Use the Nebulon's hull there to prevent a missile from hitting me.
Keep your distance.
So again, kind of like the second phase of the last mission, the rebel fleet will get closer and closer, but it will never actually reach weapons range of the facilities. The 2 frigates, friendly frigates, will arrive before that happens. And there you go, here they are. Frigates Moa and Thrasher. And if anyone might be an EVE Online player, yes, that's where I grabbed their names from. EVE Online has a plethora of different ship names, class names anyway, and so I have borrowed a few from them here and there. So I mean, 2 frigates and 2 corvettes is not an insignificant force, sorry, not in this game's terms, but given how much I've established that Zarin has a rather large capital fleet at his disposal, it's nowhere near enough to defend this station. I think retrospectively speaking, a better idea would have been to try and save these plants, or package them up and ship them to a much more secure area. That would have made more sense. But simply trying to hold the position here where Zarin is running rampant, I don't think makes tactical sense. Just again coming back to why I feel Battle 8, from story-wise, is certainly weaker in Reimagined than it could have been otherwise. I think back then I was just thinking more about how I could make the missions bigger and more interesting, not as much about the story. I would at least make sure we had the same ships consistently throughout the story, so there was still some continuity there, because I was like, I do like continuity. But yeah, I just think this is a weaker aspect of the story.
Job well done, Alpha 1. The resupply operation was a success, and you stopped the rebel attempt to destroy the plants. All pilots.
Nice braking there, considering I was coming in at full speed.
The TIE advanced plants have been resupplied and the rebel attack repelled. As of now, the plant is guarded by the Nebulon B frigates Thrasher and Moa. Soon both plants will be in full production of TIE advanced starfighters. During the engagement, the rebels were once again using the magnetic pulse warhead, or MagPulse. This new warhead technology temporarily disables laser cannon weapon systems by draining their stored energy. This latest advance in weaponry is not completely understood, and what little knowledge we had came from Zarin's own R&D teams before his coup attempt. Imperial Command therefore wants us to acquire further...
See, that little beat there, I think that's alright. That's tying at least back into, or recalling that, we did capture this sort of technology before in Battle 6 Mission 3. And I have a salvaged X-Wing cannon. That's a pretty big, hefty piece of equipment to have in your quarters. I mean, certainly if you're going to pack up and move ship, that's not easy to just move around. So that's basically going on that email saying that we're going to hit the rebels next and get the MagPulse technology again, and that will be our next mission in Mission 4. So until then, good hunting.